Welcome back to Oathbound Gaming. My name's Greg, or Neckarage from the Ornthal, whatever you want to call me. Today we're going to look at all of the Warlord skills. I'm also going to do these videos for every other class in the game, but this one is for the Warlord. I have all of the rune attributes disabled, so we can just see the skills as they're meant to be. We'll look at all the skill attributes for each skill, but we can't use all of them because obviously I don't have them all since this test is so short. So we're going to start with Swift Strike. The description for this seems to be incorrect. It might be the Slayer's information, but it says swings the greatsword up to 4 times. That's not correct at all. It's a normal swing like this. That's Swift Strike. Let's see what it does on the normal mode. These are low-level enemies, just so we can, by normal mode, I mean without the skill attribute. Normal enemies, low-level enemies, so we can kill them rather quickly and move on to the next thing. So, Swift Strike. And it's got skill attributes that help it absorb damage. It gives Life Leech. One that has a chance to do lightning bolts whenever you hit. One that decreases the skill cooldowns. That's pretty cool. And then this one's kind of interesting. I don't have this one, but activates the piercing projectile Swift Jeopardy for every combo skill when using Swift Strike. 8-second cooldown. Swift Jeopardy pierces a max of 7 enemies within an 18-meter range, dealing 90 power as fire damage and inflicting them with stiffen. So it's a range attack to your basic. Pretty interesting. This one's cool. The lightning. Chance to do a lightning strike. That's it right there. It does increase your basic attack strength a fair amount. It's not bad. Although the basic attack's not really anything you really use in PvP. It's pretty weak. Shield block. Shield block's I don't know, like your what would you call this? Like your basis of this class, right? Like this is an important skill. When we block, we take pretty much no damage, pretty much, and we get that counter like that. Let's try that again. You'll see on that symbol that pops up means you countered, so it'll appear on C, and it'll allow us to reflect the damage like that. So that's pretty nice. It is very, 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 very useful to, if you see like a big hit coming from an enemy, being able to absorb their attack or whatever it may be, to not only reduce damage but stop the stun or whatever it may be. It's pretty damn nice. You see, it decreases all damage taken by 20%, increases defense against shield damage by 100, and grants immunity from all crowd control and harmful effects. Then the one at the bottom is stun and shield destruction. Cancels the skill of a target with shield defense on hit. So that's when you do the counter. So moving on. Accelerated shield block enhances shield retaliation that activates upon the successful defense. Enhancing shield retaliation enables dash to be used on designated targets within a 15-meter range. Deals the same damage and effects as the existing skill when shield retaliation hits a target. Pretty interesting that you can teleport to a target like that. You can use that to block someone's attack and then dash to an enemy healer or something like that. This adds a 10% damage reduction aura for you and allies while you're blocking. This one reflects damage. And the last one activates a flame shield. That's cool. When activated, flame shield deals 150 power as fire damage to enemies within a 3-meter radius every 0.5 seconds and inflicts them with stiffen, so it slows them down. One of my favorites is next. That is Cyclone. Cyclone allows us to spin to win, right? Everyone likes to spin to win. Yes, 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 die. Okay. One thing I could do, by the way, is I turn this down because it could get a little crazy when you're in a large-scale PvP. But effects. Not that it lowers frames, but it kind of like blinds you a little bit. I'm going to turn the effects up so you can see the difference. The effects on the Whirlwind definitely get a little brighter, a little more impressive if you like that. What modifiers do it have? Enables the skill to be used while dash is active, so you can dash to an enemy and chase them with it. This one's kind of cool. Throws cyclones out as you spin. That's pretty cool. And then my favorite, Shocking Cyclone, which is it's a larger cyclone, does more damage, and pulls enemies in as you spin. And this last one, I haven't tried it, but increases the skill range by 0.5 meters and the skill power by 20 every 0.35 seconds while the skill is active. And that's a max of 10. And it also increases the cyclone duration by 7 seconds. Let's try my favorite. This one pulls enemies in, so you can like kind of move them like that, and it does a heck of a lot more damage. Earth Frenzy is our next target, or our next skill. Stomps on the ground with force to pull in enemies towards you and increase incoming physical damage. You see that down there? Earthquake. Increased physical damage taken by 40%, removed when hit. So next time you hit them with something, it will remove that. Let's do that. let's not go for that guy, because it'll take too long with this skill. So we do that. You'll see the debuffs on him at the top right. So he'll take more damage if you hit him with the any other physical ability afterwards. So you'd want to hit him with something big, because obviously the next hit's going to consume that. Kill these. Stop respawning! Okay, so that guy's down. So what else we got? Changes into a skill that can be combined up to 2 times. Strikes down with the hammer when using the second combo skill to deal 300 physical damage and inflict airborne. Split AoE damage does not apply to this combo skill. So if you hit like a ton of targets at once, it'll split damage between them. Not with that though. It's cool. Activates an Earthquake when using Earth Frenzy. Pulls enemies towards the center every second for 5 seconds. Changes Earth Frenzy's Earthquake to last for 5 seconds instead of disappearing when hit. So that what that's saying is for 5 seconds, that Earthquake that increases physical damage taken by 40%, that lasts for 5 seconds instead of being removed on the next hit. It's pretty good damage increase. Then the last one is changes Earth Frenzy's Earthquake to last for 5 seconds instead of disappearing when hit with an attack, and additionally applies airborne when the attack succeeds, so it knocks them up in the air rather than a pull-in. Why don't you use one of the modifiers? What do you want to use? This one's cool. The one that keeps them pulled in, so they can't run away or anything like that. Keeps them pulled in like that. Combo that with the Cyclone. Finish them off with the basic attack. I'm trying not to use too many abilities that we haven't gone over yet. Alright. Shield Bash. Advances forward while swinging your shield each time you combine a skill. So this is a 3-hit combo, this skill. Applies Stiffen, can knock them down. Let's give it a shot. Give me an enemy. Let's use him. 1, 2, 3. You see him on the ground. Let's weaken him a little bit and we'll finish him with the attack. Let's do it again. 1, 2, 3. How can this skill be modified? Changes Shield Bash's third combo to a skill to a third combo skill to a dash attack, so it moves you towards him. Moves forward up to 18 meters to attack the target when using the third combo. It's useful for making sure that last most important devastating hit actually does land. Activates Shield Block while Shield Bash is active, so it helps you take a lot less damage while you're using it. And then Opportune Shield Bash, this is cool. Increase the power of Shield Bash by 100%. Increases the attack speed by 10% for 2 seconds and decreases the cooldown by 3 seconds each time the skill succeeds. It's 3 stacks max. However, the knockdown effect of Shield Bash third combo is replaced with Stiffen, so a slow instead of a knockdown. Obviously, we would prefer the knockdown, but it's a sacrifice. Increases the hit speed of Shield Bash's third blow, increases the power by 50%, and can be used 2 additional times in 3 seconds. Let's try the one I do have. This one's pretty interesting. So it no longer knocks down, but it does a heck of a lot more damage, and you can spam it as long as you're actually hitting targets with it. It'll reduce the cooldown. Boom. Good single target, right? Alright, Earthcrack. This one's nice. Earthcrack. Build up force with your hammer and unleash a fiery strike that pierces through enemies in front. Yeah! Immobilizes as well. See that? He won't even come to me. Alright, too long of a cooldown. We gotta finish him with this. Alright. That's Earthcrack. What modifiers do we have? I love this one for PvE. Reset the cooldown of Earthcrack when it hits enemies inflicted with knockdown or airborne. Let's use that real fast and then we'll look at the other two. So let's do a knockdown on these dudes. So if we knock him down and we use this, 1, 2. Notice I can use it a third time right now too, because it hit him twice while he was knocked down. He wasn't actually done getting up. So you can really combo a bunch of knockdowns in PvE and just spam the crap out of Earthcrack, and it does a lot of damage. Adds an explosion to the crack in the earth that activates when used. The cracked earth explodes after 2 seconds to deal 220 power as fire damage and inflicts airborne. Shocking Earthcrack. Changes the fiery strike fired by Earthcrack to deal consecutive damage by piercing enemies and inflicting them with knockback at the same time. So you can knock them back. And the last one enables a second combo skill that divides the fiery strike launched by Earthcrack. The second combo skill can be used while fiery strike is mid-flight. Using the second combo skill divides fiery strike into 4 directions. A divided fiery strike deals 206 power as fire damage when it hits a target. 206, so slightly weaker than the normal one. Let's try the one that explodes, right? That should be pretty cool. Boom. Cool little follow-up explosion, a delayed one. Breakthrough. Charges rapidly at designated enemies to stun them and deal damage. Very important. I really like this one because it also recovers 100 energy, which is used for stuff like Cyclone and other abilities. This recovers that and helps close the gap. So once you close that gap, you're stunning the target, you're getting your energy back, so you got them right where you want them, right? You got them stunned, you got your energy for your follow-up abilities. Really like this. What modifiers do we have here? Decreases breakthrough's cooldown to 8 seconds and changes it to be used on allies instead of enemies. You can't use this one on enemies if you use this. Grants cover when it hits an ally. It inflicts knockdown to enemies within approximately 2 meters of hit allies. Cover. It absorbs damage equal to 150 of the caster's power. So when you charge at a friendly, it gives both of you cover, damage absorption. Pretty cool. This one I really like. Changes into a stackable skill 2 times. You can use it twice now. That's a lot of energy back, and you can charge at an enemy, stun them. If they use their dash to get out of the stun and get away from you, you can charge a second time, and then they wouldn't have their dash up. On using Breakthrough, the damage increases by up to 13 times as the distance from the casting target decreases. Let's try this out. Whoops, wrong skill. So a heck of a lot more damage, 16, 14. It's pretty good. Now let's use it close up. I think that was a rear attack too, though, right? 110, so much, much less damage. Let's try that one more time. Let's see if we can knock him down. Do I have a knockdown? I do, I just don't know. Let's stun him. And then charge him. There we go, 1556, so it's a heck of a lot more damage if you're far away from the target. Capture. This one I really like. Capture's cool. Unfortunately, it doesn't work real well in PvP. People just tend to not get pulled, but apparently that's going to be fixed in a future patch. So you'll see we'll get a lock-on like this. We see 4 out of 5 in the middle. That means I can lock on to one more target, but I'm going to hit the button again and pull them all in. Really, really good for PvE to help set up your AoEs and all that good stuff, you know? Beautiful ability. Next ability in the list. Well, let's look at Capture real quick. Changes into a stackable skill 2 times, so you can use it twice. 2 cooldowns. This one I like. Increases the range by 6 meters, and you can use it while you're running, while you're moving. You don't need to stop. Changes Capture into a movable long-range charging attack skill. Pulls in a max of 7 enemies within an 18-meter range of the caster in front of you for 1 second while charging is complete. That's pretty cool. Displacing Capture. The caster flies to the target when used, pulling in a max of 4 enemies, including the target at the same time. Inflicts the target and pulled enemies with bind for 3 seconds and increases their damage taken by 20%. That's pretty good. You hit someone in PvP and you pull them all together and you go towards them and they take more damage so you can follow up for some big attack, whatever it may be. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Alright, Shield Crush. Jumps up in place and then strikes the ground with your shield to activate consecutive explosions in front. Let's give it a shot. Boom. So you jump up in the air, drop a section in front of you that you can turn, like enemies will move, you can turn to try to keep it on them. So enhances Shield Crush when it's used within 3 seconds of either using Shift Evade or a successful shield block. Decreases casting speed by 50% upon skill enhancement, so you can use it much faster. Havoc Shield Crush. Enhances Shield Crush when it's used within 5 seconds each time shield block is activated. Increases power by 30% upon skill enhancement. 5 stacks. That could be big. Shotgun Shield Crush. Activates a circular explosion in the location Shield Crush strikes down. Deals 250 physical damage to enemies within range of the circular explosion and inflicts them with airborne. Explosive Shield Crush. Extends Shield Crush to up to 12 meters in front of you to deal the same damage and effects to enemies. Increases the power of Shield Crush by 50%. That's a big hit and a big range. Let's try this real quick. So, enhance Shield Crush when it is used within 5 seconds each time shield block is activated. Fight me. Come on. Hit me. So you see that little buff towards the top left of my AP bar? Boom. There we go. Hit a lot harder, right? Because I had the blocks going. Good stuff. I almost forgot. The tab skill. This skill cannot be changed on any class. Every class has a skill that's on tab. You can rebind the key, but that skill is always there. Impregnable Fortress is the Warlord skill. So summons a shield wall, lasts for 8 seconds and deals damage to enemies while granting ironclad defense to you and your allies if located within the walls. Ironclad defense decreases all damage taken by 50%, increases defense against shield damage by 100, grants immunity from all crowd control and harmful effects. This effect can be stacked with shield defense. That is what it looks like, and it is amazing. It is really good. Lasts for 8 seconds, it's got a 1-minute cooldown, and it is very powerful. Moving on. Alright, next set of skills are going to have to be dragged onto the bar. Go, go, go. Hammerang. We'll do another batch after this. Okay. So we are on Shield Crash. So defend yourself while swinging your shield to attack enemies in front of you and push them back. Decrease all damage taken while you're using it because you have shield block running. You get the buff and you push them back. Let's give Shield Crush a shot. Shield Crash. I'm sorry. Shield Crash, not Crush. 1, 2, and you throw them away like that. 1, 2. Oh man. That could be useful depending on what you're doing. There are some skills that you actually want to keep enemies at a certain distance from you. Sneezing. Apparently it makes you sneeze too. Alright, so we knock back the enemy. Let's finish this dude. Come on. Stop running. Alright. So that's Shield Crash. What other modifiers does it get? Doubles the power of Shield Crash second combo skill, so you're doing more damage on it. Explodes when it hits enemies inflicted. Explodes when it hits enemies inflicted with stun. Deals 100 power as physical damage to the target surrounding upon explosion. So you need to stun an enemy before you do that. Shocking Shield Crash. Inflicts airborne when the first combo skill hits enemies. Inflicted with knockdown and airborne. Ignores every projectile skill damage in PvP while using Shield Crash. And launches a projectile to the attacker that deals 100 reflection damage and inflicts stiffen. However, increases the cooldown of Shield Crash by 100%. So you can send things back at people. Shield Toss. This one's actually quite good. So it throws your shield, which flies to the front and attacks enemies as it returns to the caster. So that's this. Looks bad, right? The shield throw? It gets good. Watch, I'll show you one of the modifiers. It makes it pretty crazy. One of the things I really like about this game, like you can really customize your gear and your skills. I need to repair really badly. So we gotta go find ourselves a repair real quick. But what I do want to show you is the oh, we can go to the village. What I do want to show you is the shield toss ability. Let's see. The toss shield bounces off to a random location and can be retrieved by the caster or a party member. Increases physical damage by 10% for 10 seconds whenever the shield is retrieved. Interesting. When a shield hits a target, it spins in place for approximately 2 seconds while dealing 84 power as physical damage every second before it returns. The effect is applied as a ground targeting attack. We're going to go ahead and repair, an expensive repair, and we're good. So we're going to go ahead and put on that modifier right there, the one that keeps it in place. That's, okay, we're going to dismount, and we're going to throw this right here. It's going to spin and do a fair amount of damage, and as it came back, it actually hit that target too. Is that the good one though? No, it's not. The good one is this one. Take a look at this. This thing can do a lot of damage, and you can move it. And as long as you have that blue bar, that energy, you're good to go. That's why I like that charge, because the... what's the charge? The breakthrough. Breakthrough gives the 100 energy on use. And this is one of the reasons why I like the knockback, because you can knock back enemies into a good distance where you can hit them with that type of attack, like that. So you can keep them at a certain distance, because when you use this, you can move it, but you can't bring it further in or out. Let's try that one more time. So when I use that, that's it. It stays out there. I can't actually move it in. Really like the ability, though. It's quite strong. Did we look at the last one? No. Increases the power of shield toss by 20% and changes the shield to not pursue the caster when it returns after taking enemy attacks. The returning shield flies back to the front when it hits the caster and is reflected back after it hits an enemy. It repeats up to 2 times. So it's bam, 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 and it hits him again. It's pretty cool. I like that. Shield dash. Charges forward while blocking with your shield to attack enemies in your path. You push targets back with force, and you reduce damage you take while you're using it. Let's push someone. Alright. How can we modify this thing? Grants an effect that increases damage by 3% for 10 seconds every time shield dash hits a target. It stacks to 11 times. That's 33% damage increase. Increases the power of shield dash by 25% and activates additional willing shields on the left and right of the caster when used. The additional willing shields inflicts the same effect as the existing shield when it hits enemies. However, additional energy is not recovered. I'm going to try that out. Now we should have a bigger wall. Yeah. It's harder for enemies to get around. Alright. What else we got? Increase the power of shield dash by 150%. Deal 11 additional blows to the enemy at once. We gotta try that one, right? Let's try it out. Boom. So it did a lot more damage. It's a lot quicker. The cooldown is quite long on it, though. Alright, and the last one is increases the power of shield dash by 25% and can be combined with shield slam within 5 seconds of using shield dash. Deals 350 power as physical damage and applies knockdown when shield slam succeeds. Shield strike. This is actually pretty useful. Shocks enemies with short thrusts of your shield and destroys their armor. Greatly increases threat to hit enemy. Increases all damage taken by 10%. Stacks to 3 times, and it's a 20-second debuff. Really easy to stack. Lasts a long time. And you can hit players with it, increase the physical damage they're going to take. Oh, I'm sorry, increase all damage they're going to take by 30%. And it's really good in PvE on long bosses. You just keep that up. Whole group's doing more damage. Shield Strike. The modifier is inflicts target with knockback when Shield Strike succeeds. Increases the caster's attack speed by 30% for 5 seconds. Hurled Shield Strike. Changes the shock wave that activates when Shield Strike is used into a long-range piercing projectile skill that flies approximately 18 meters in front of you. Deals physical damage that is 30% stronger than the existing power when the flying shockwave hits a target. Opportune Shield Strike. Increases critical hit rate of the Shield Strike by 30%. Resets the cooldown of Shield Strike when Shield Strike is critical. So you might crit a lot with it and go bam, 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 bam. And the cool thing is it's got no use, no cost on it. And if you have a really, really high crit build, with that 30% additional chance to critically hit, you can crit a lot. And you might get lucky, and if you get 3 of them, you immediately have the 30% increased damage on the target. Bam, 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 and then you can unload with something that hits a little harder. Applies 3 stacks of armor destruction effect at once when Shield Strike succeeds. So you get the 30% increased damage with 1 hit of it. It's nice. And that's this little thrust, this little boom. That's it. And then you'll see the debuff they have up here, this one here. Increases all damage taken by 10%. So we'll stack another one on him. Boom, there's 20%. Push him away, does a ton of damage, and he's done. Alright, taunt. It's a taunt, right? That's it. Next ability. No, I'm just kidding. It does more. Trust me. Let's add a cry that taunts surrounding enemies, greatly increases threat and focuses enemy attacks on you. That's all it does until you modify it with skill attributes. So it deals 65 power as reflected physical damage for 5 seconds when hit with an attack after using taunt. So that's like a Thorns effect, like reflex damage. This one's nice. Grants the caster Frenzy for 10 seconds when using taunt. Frenzy increases your damage taken by 25%, so we take more damage. Increases damage and attack speed by 25%, so we do more damage. And it recovers 25% of your max HP upon defeating enemies with a direct hit before the effect expires. So let's grab Taunt and put that on here real quick. We'll look at the other two after. So we can use this, use Frenzy, and then push and do a heck of a lot more damage. And also attack speed increases as well. Oh, looks like my taunt actually pulled that, which is a good strategy when you're out there. If you're taunting, you can help pull larger groups of mobs together that you're trying to kill. Let's hit him with the shield strike real quick. 10% increased damage. Throw the taunt off with a frenzy. Push him. You can stack a lot of stuff together and really hit hard. What other options are on here? Decrease all damage dealt by targets hit with taunt by 30% while the effect is active. You can even use that in PvP. Decreases the skill effect range to 8 meters, but applies an additional fear effect that lasts for 3 seconds when it hits a target. Targets inflicted with fear become crowd controlled and increase their damage taken by 25%. The effect is removed upon taking damage equal to 15% or more total HP. Justice. This is a good one. Strikes down with a hammer in front of you to deal greater damage as enemy HP decreases. It's nice. Increasing damage by up to 6 times the lower the target's HP, and the damage does not split even when attacking multiple targets. What modifiers does it have? Changes Justice into a target skill that flies to the target and strikes, so you can leap. This one changes it into a stackable skill 2 times, so you can use it twice in a row. Opportune Justice resets the cooldown of all blunt weapon skills upon defeating enemies using Justice. Increases Justice's power by 25%. Explosive Justice. Increase the power of Justice by 30%. Activates 2 additional consecutive explosions in front of you to deal additional hits and inflict airborne when the last blow hits a target. Whew. Let's try this one, the one with two uses. The reason I want to do that is because I want to show you. You'll see the cooldowns are actually separate. So I can use one right now, but the second one is actually finishing its cooldown in just 3 seconds, and I'll be able to use 2 of them. So watch this. The reason why I did this is because I want to show you the first damage. Pay attention to this. 497, right? Let's lower his health a little bit. Watch this. 2,217. So if an enemy is low on health, they done. That's your execute Justice. I like it. Plus, there's the leap you can turn it into. If you want to go with oh, I can't use it because it's on cooldown. I can't change it. Losing out on the second use kind of sucks, but in PvP, like, it can be hard sometimes, depending on the class you're fighting, if they're trying to move away from you a lot, to land 2 of them. So, being able to have it as a targeted leap is not a bad thing either. So we can, like, get into a PvP fight and be like, come here! Kick the crap out of him. He starts, I don't know, he dashes away from you or something, and then you, boom, finish him off with a large attack. That's pretty good. And then the last one we have on this set of attacks is Hammerang. Throws a hammer that inflicts strong impact when it hits an enemy and knocks them down. Changes Hammerang's hammer to fly into a high-angle trajectory. Resets the cooldown when it hits a target at 10 meters distance or more from the caster. Changes Hammerang's hammer into a long-range piercing projectile to deal damage multiple times. Changes Hammerang into a long-range charging attack skill with the max of 4 stages. Increases the hammer's size and its thrown distance according to the charge stage, increasing the power by 100% per stage. This attack makes me laugh because of how big the hammer gets. Changes Hammerang so its hammer is thrown into the air, then falls down when it succeeds. Deals 450 power as physical damage and inflicts knockdown enemies within 5 meters from where the hammer lands. It's like a hammer nuke. Goes up in the air, comes down, ba-boom. I'm going to show you the ability real quick normally. See that hammer? Pretty small, right? Alright, we're gonna big boy hammer this thing. This one's pretty fun. I like it. I'm gonna have to reset when the cooldown finishes. It's 1 second and boom. Let's take a look at this. I don't know, it's very like comical to me how big this hammer is. Alright, that guy's down. Alright, our last group of abilities for the Warlord. Oh, that ability's on cooldown, so I can't replace it. I'll just wait a second because I want that in order. Alright, Strike, More Spirit, Rush Strike, Holy Shield, Berserk Smash, and let's throw Damage Absorb on right click. That'll be our last batch of skills. Okay. Spin, leap, strike. Repeatedly strikes the ground in front of you with the hammer to attack. Each strike increases in speed. Granted upon using a spin, leap, strike combo, increases movement speed and attack speed by 20% with 4 max stacks. That thing gets pretty crazy. Modifiers for it. Increase the time available for spin, leap, strike combos by 3 seconds. So you can hit an enemy with it, use a different ability, and then go back to the spin, leap, strike without losing the combo. Inflict stiffen each time spin, leap, strike succeeds, so it slows enemies down. Activates a ground-targeted lava field attack in every location hit with spin, leap, strike. Lava field decreases the move speed of enemies within it by 50% while dealing 90 power as fire damage every second for 5 seconds. Combined spin, leap, strike. Enables spin, leap, strike to be combined up to 3 times and increases its power by 40%. Spin, leap, strike, baby. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Starts getting faster and faster, right? Let's finish this guy off. How do we want to modify this one? What do we want to go with? Let's go with the fire ground one. Oh, it's on cooldown. Keep forgetting that. Alright, give us an enemy. There's one in there, right? Alright. I left the fire ground for him. Look at that. Some big damage, right? Not bad. Shred. Smashes enemies with your hammer, inflicting them with a continuous bleeding damage while restoring your HP. Also, what it doesn't say is if you look down at the bottom or on the right side right above that video, you cannot heal while that's active. That's a debuff on enemies. So that's pretty good if they don't cleanse it off. It's pretty devastating to healers. Increase the damage of Shred's attacks by up to 6 times as your max HP decreases. Explodes when Shred's continuous damage effect stacks 3 times. All stacks of Shreds disappear upon explosion and deals 350 power as physical damage and absorbs 50% of damage as HP. Compressed Shred applies 3 stacks of Shred's continuous damage at once and increases the continuous damage power by 25%. Decreases the duration of Shred's continuous damage effect by 1 second, so that helps it tick faster. More bleeds. Let's do the explosion one. This one's pretty cool. So we're gonna hit him with a bleed. So it's bleeding right now. We're gonna hit him with another one. And it's still bleeding again. 2 stacks and a third one. And there you go. It exploded a little bit, did some damage, and it would heal me a fair amount as well. So, strike. So, flies to the designated target and inflicts them with strong impact. With a strong impact. Okay. So, flies to the target. It's a leap strike, which is pretty nice. My dog is crying in the background. Hopefully you can't hear it. Explosive strike. Increases the power of strike by 20%. Inflicts an additional cross-shaped explosion in the location the blow strikes down on. Deals the same effects and damage as the original strike when the cross-shaped explosion hits a target. Removes strike's stun effect, but also removes the cooldown, and increases the damage by up to 2 times as the distance flown increases. So the further you are away, the more damage it will do. Amplified strike. Charge strike to be used as a ground targeting skill and increase the hit range by 2 meters and the stun duration by 1.5 seconds. Decreases the cooldown of strike by 25%. Decreases the energy cost of strike by 100% and increase the power by 50%. I have a dog crying in the background. I'm going to have to edit this. 1 second, I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. We're on strike. So the last one was decrease the energy cost of strike by 100% and increase the power by 50%. Fixes the attack to fly up to 15 meters in front of the caster instead of the designated location and resets the cooldown when it hits the target. So this ability, this last one, means there's no cost at all. You do more damage with it, but you can't pick the target location. It's 15 meters in front of you. But if you hit an enemy, it resets the cooldown. And there's no energy cost. So that means if you hit, you can use it on another guy, hit him, and then go back to that one, bam, bam, bam. And if you're successful with hitting these, you dish out a lot of damage and never let up, you know? You can just stay on someone that keeps trying to put distance on you. So that can be a powerful ability if you're good with it. So strike, let's do you want to do? Let's do this one cool. This one should be a cool little explosion one. Bam. See that little one like that? It explodes out. I think that's pretty cool. You got your stun. Let's do another one, because this one's got some cool modifications. So this is no cooldown, but it still has a cost on this one, so you can't really spam it too much. And it does a heck of a lot more damage if you're further away. Let's do that one. Let's do the one where we're further away, but does more damage. Boom. It's not too bad for initiating a fight with a large hit like that. It's not too bad. Not my preferred one, though. I would love to unlock this one. War Spirit. Let's add a cry that instantly enhances your body. Ah! Body enhancement. Increase max HP by 20% and grants immunity for all shock and crowd control effects. Amplified War Spirit. Grants War Spirit to a max of 5 allies within an 18-meter range, including yourself. Really good for PvP, making your fellow players immune to crowd control and increasing yours and their health by 20%. Huge. Using War Spirit activates Taunt at the same time. Meh. Changes the effect to decrease the remaining cooldown of all skills by 50% when using War Spirit. Could be good. Using War Spirit sends a ripple of waves through the earth. Inflicts knockback to enemies within an 18-meter range. Decreases damage taken by 10% for each enemy player it hits. And decreases the cooldown by increments of 2 seconds. 7 stacks max. Cooldown's 40 seconds, so it's a rather large cooldown. This helps reduce it a bit when you hit enemies. Reduces the damage you take. That's pretty good. However, I'm going to say this. While I don't have it unlocked, I find it really weird that they say it sends a ripple of waves through the earth and inflicts knockback. If you look at the video, I'm pretty sure they're like moving closer. You know what it is? I think it is a knockback, but it's knockback on the enemies, which is a little weird because it's towards their back. So even someone behind you, if it's back to back, someone's got their back towards you, and they're behind you, and you use this shout, they would move towards you. They would always move backwards. I think that's a little weird, you know? Rather than radiating away from you outward, it just always moves them to wherever their back is. A little strange. We can use it. It's just there's not much to show for this thing. It's just a shout. If you look at my max health, it's near 9,000. Close to 11,000 now. Crowd control immunity. It's huge, though. It's an important ability. This one, Rush Strike. This is a good one. Gathers energy with your hammer that unleashes it instantaneously to deal significant damage to enemies in front of you. Increase damage and move speed in proportion to the charge amount. So it charges up and rushes you forward. Boosting Rush Strike adds up to 4 charge stages to Rush Strike, so an additional charge. Deals 475 power as physical damage and inflicts airborne when stage 4 charge hits a target. It's good. Launches Earthcrack's Fiery Strike when using Rush Strike. Allows you to use Leap Strike combo skill within 3 seconds of using Rush Strike. Leap Strike consumes 70 energy and deals 350 power as physical damage and applies airborne to a max of 5 enemies when the attack succeeds. Can consecutively use additional Leap Strikes when Leap Strike succeeds. Natural energy recovery is unavailable while Leap Strike is active. Rush Strike pierces enemies in front of you while moving, but removes the charging time and activates 3 stages at once. It's just instant big boy damage. One thing that sucks about it is it kind of puts you at a distance if you go through the enemy, but that could be good. Remember the spinning shield? That could be good if you dash through, turn around, and you're at a good enough distance where you calculated that, and then you're throwing the spinning shield at them, just, you know? That could be good. It could be a good combo. Let's try Rush Strike with the 4 charges. Fair amount of damage, knocked them up. Knocked him up. Didn't realize I was going to say that before I did. Alright, let's try it one more time. With the Fiery Crack attribute as well. Where are you? So that hit him twice. The Rush Strike and the Fiery Crack attack, Fire Strike thing. What are they called? Earthcrack's Fiery Strike. Fire Crack. So when you eat a lot of spicy food. Jumps up in place and strikes the ground with your shield to deal damage to enemies and grant beneficial effects to allies. This is a good one. The beneficial effects is Holy Shield. Increase move speed and damage by 20%, increase attack speed by 20%, and grants immunity from all crowd control effects. Is good. So when it explodes, that's when you get the buff. One thing that sucks is you can be crowd controlled while you're doing that, and it could interrupt you from getting that off. A combo is using War Spirit to grant you immunity to crowd control effects, then using this. No one can stop you in PvP from getting that off then. Well, there's some stuff that bypasses immunity, believe it or not, but for the most part, you can get it off. When using Holy Shield, your shield flies to a designated location within a 21-meter range, then strikes down to inflict airborne and activate the existing effect. However, the airborne effect that activates after 6 seconds is removed. Explosive Holy Shield changes Holy Shield to consecutive melee attack skill. Removes Holy Shield and activates an explosion when the skill key is re-entered while the effect is active. Deals 400 power as physical damage and inflicts airborne when it hits enemies. Grants invincibility and doubles power while Holy Shield is active. Whew. That's really good. Enables Holy Shield to be used up to 2 consecutive times and changes it into a ground targeting skill that activates when dropped in a designated location within a 21-meter range. This is a good skill. Its skill attributes are actually quite strong too. Let's try this one here, where we can target our area where we want to go. And we can use it to jump on an enemy and sit there on the ground. So we knock them down. He's taking damage, and then when it finishes, it gives you the buff. But you don't get the knockdown at the end. That's removed. Okay, it's pretty cool. Let's try this one too. Oh, damn it! I always forget about the cooldown. So this is one consecutive melee attack, and it removes the Holy Shield and activates an explosion when the skill key is entered again. So you don't get the buff on this one. So we get to use it, and when I hit this again, or if it lets me. Oh, there we go. So after it goes off, that's when you get to reuse it. Let's try that again. One more time so we can see this one in action. Come on. Alright, we got coming up now. Here we go. You see I take a lot less damage. Oh, he's moving. Alright, so I'll run up to him and just boom. That's a good example of it, right? You get to, even if he moved out, I can chase him down and use it again. Pretty cool. Berserk Smash. I really like this one. Strikes the ground in front of you repeatedly with a hammer and increasing speed, dealing continuous damage. You're also immune to knockback, stiffen, and pull while in use. What's its modifiers? Let's take some of this off so I can actually use it. Changes Berserk Smash into a charging melee attack skill when used for at least 3 seconds, increasing damage according to the charge stage and inflicts airborne when it hits a target. The final blow deals 350, 450, 550 physical damage according to the charge stage and inflicts airborne. This one allows you to move while using it. Pretty good. Doubles the effect of Berserk Smash. Enemies are pulled in front of you when hit. That's good. Increases the power of Berserk Smash by 15% and immediately reaches the max strike speed when the skill is used. Would you look at that attack speed in the video? Bam, 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 bam. Pretty interesting. Let's see, put on the move one. Watch this. Pretty damn good. It's a lot of damage when you actually get it up to max attack speed and stuff. I need a stronger target though. There's one over there. Let's go try this guy here. Do I have anything that restores energy on me? No, I don't. Alright, we're gonna wait on the energy a little bit. So I'm too lazy to switch the skill. Energy's coming back. Watch this guy. This guy's a level 35 elite. He's gonna be pretty easy to beat, but watch this. Don't run. It's strong. It's mighty. Let's do one of the modifiers here. So this is the one that changes it into a charging melee attack skill, so it changes the way the skill actually works a fair amount. No, would you... There we go. So there's like an end to it. You know, you hit a couple times and then it'll... You see that bar is going up, then another one charges and it lets go. But before that, with the non-modifier, you can use it as much as you want. Just hold it down. And the last skill is Damage Absorb. Gathers energy from enemy attacks, and then unleashes an attack with as much power with end range as the energy gathered. It's pretty cool. So you take 20% less damage, increase the grants immunity, crowd control, and all that stuff while you're using it. Damage Absorb. Stacks with every hit taken, 5 stacks max. Upon exploding, it applies Stiffen, Knockdown, and Airborne, and deals damage in proportion to the number of stacks. Damage Absorb. Will. Decreases cooldown by 1 second for each hit while absorbing damage. Stiffen. Cancels the active skill and temporarily immobilizes. Knockdown. Immobilizes and disables skills. And Airborne. Immobilizes and disables skills again. So we're going to go ahead and grab us some enemies here. And we're going to use Absorb. And obviously you can see we're taking like no damage from this as they hit us. It's reflecting some damage. And when it's over, it's going to do an explosion based off the amount of damage and stuff you take. But the stronger the enemy, obviously, the more damage it would do for your reflect. So it's not as impressive versus weak enemies like this. So changes damage absorbs explosion to activate after 2 seconds instead of immediately when the skill key input is cancelled. So that means you can let go of the key, you can use another skill while waiting for that to explode and kind of combo some stuff together. Greatly increases move speed while using Damage Absorb. Charge Damage Absorb decreases Damage Absorb's energy cost per second by 25% and increases the number of stacks for Wrath by 2. Deals 357 power as physical damage in a 14-meter radius around the caster at 6 stacks and inflicts them with Airborne. Deals 408 power as physical damage into a 16-meter range around the caster at 7 stacks. That's pretty crazy. Automatically stacks Damage Absorb Wrath every 0.5 seconds when Damage Absorb is used. So even if you're not getting hit, you're still stacking that thing up just by holding the shield block. Let's do, real quick. Look how slow I move. Let's put on the modifier here. Allows me to move faster. Not too bad. Still move faster, but still quite slow, you know? You would think when they say greatly increases move speed, it would actually greatly increase your move speed. That was not much. That's okay. But that's the end of the skills for the Warlord. Real quick, I'm gonna do one of my favorite combos here. This is how I grind. Pull a bunch of enemies. Usually hit them with this Rush Strike. Bam! And then 1, 2, 3. So that's the Earth Crack that can be used again. It instantly refreshes the cooldown when the enemies are grounded. Also, this has got a 100% chance to crit, so the damage can be quite massive. So I do like that combo. Pull them, rush to knock them down. Oh man, it's on cooldown still. So I hit them. They were still grounded, so I can use it again. And as you can see, it'll always crit. Huge, especially if you're stacking crit power. Some big boy damage. Well, that was it, guys. I hope you guys liked the Warlord. I know this was a longer video than I expected, but it takes some time to go through these skills. Now I gotta go record the next classes. Thank you very much for watching. If you're looking for a guild, hit us up, or look down below in the description of the video. There'll be our Discord, our website, Oathbound Gaming's Discord and website as well. You're more than welcome to join us in the channel, follow us, watch the videos, all that good stuff. Do a little subscribe, follow, catch us on Twitch, all that good stuff. And I will catch you guys in the next video. Thank you very much for watching, and